Yogi Snack. Today I am going to show you a really quick and simple way to create some yoga props at home, namely a bolster if you don't have one. And you can also use what we're going to use for some of the things we do with a block. So if you want an actual kind of block, then maybe a book that you wrap in a thin blanket or a towel just to keep it together, and you can move it around and stuff. Or a Tupperware, something like that, can be handy to use as a block as well. Now, all you need to make your bolster, sorry about the noise outside, they're doing some renovations. All you need is a couple of blankets or a couple of towels or one big blanket, depending on what you have at home. And grabbing your towels or your blanket, folding them up nicely, and depending on how big a blanket or a bolster you want, you can choose which way you decide to roll it up. So roll it up nice and snug, nice and tight, and then get yourself some tape and tape it up. Here's one I prepared earlier. So if you don't tape it up, it's going to roll apart. So just a little bit of masking tape. This is painter's tape, so it's low tack, but you know, whatever you've got on hand, you could even tie it with a string. But one on each side will keep it together. You don't have to go crazy about it. And there, it's nice and firm. It will work in place of a block for when we lie down onto our backs and place the block or your support underneath the chest, underneath the upper rib cage, and that's just a really nice way to help open up the chest. If your upper back is tight and sore, this is a beautiful place to rest. Likewise, if you need to stretch the lower back or the hips, placing it under the buttocks or under the lower back, and just relaxing into that, that's a nice place to be. And if you have a big blanket, there's a couple of yoga blankets in here. And I rolled them up and taped them up, as you can see, and that is perfectly good as a substitute for this. You can do all of the things on this that you can do on this. So go and search out your home for some towels or some blankets and make your bolster. Now, something else we can do is, instead of maybe having one big bolster, one big support like this, we can have a smaller support. So if you have sore wrists, and if you can't get a nice angle on your wrist for some of our poses, having something, a little wedge or a little support just underneath the wrist, fingers can come forward. So just depending on how you want that, you could have half blanket rolled and half down. You want something that is not too slidey. Like, this isn't the best kind of blanket for it because it's a bit slippy. It's not a natural fiber, whereas this is. And that's just going to help make it a little more comfortable. Or you can actually hold it if you need to hold something. Some people have wrist injuries or carpal tunnel, things like that, where actually holding something as a support to come into a down dog might be more comfortable. Or if you're really tight in the ankles, now you could use a rolled up yoga mat, but you can also roll up your towel or your blanket so that if you're coming into a squat, you've got that support. You've also got a little seat support. So feet, seat, squat away, comfy ass. And likewise for your downward facing dogs. And the beauty of making your own props is that you get to choose the height, the thickness, the firmness of your support, so that it works for your body, because that's why we do yoga, not to fit our body into someone else's idea, but to let the pose guide our body and our body show the pose where we need to be. It's a union. Thank you for joining me for this Yogi Snack. Go and find some things around your home and get creative with what you can use for your yoga props. Or if you're doing a lot of yoga at home, actually investing in a bolster and a block is not a bad way to spend your money. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.